If you're watching this video, you're probably interested or curious about brain spotting, what it is, how it works, and whether or not it will support you on your healing, your performance, or your emotional capacity for deeper connection. Or you're looking for a brain spotting therapist, or your therapist has referred you to this video as a resource. At the time of this recording, it has been practiced in over 50 countries, from Argentina all the way to Uruguay, with 30,000 brain spotting practitioners, of which 3,000 are certified BIPOC brain spotting practitioners, and over 50 BIPOC brain spotting consultants. Brain spotting is a neuro-experiential brain body modality. This means we are not only working with your thoughts, your memories, or your story. We are working directly with your nervous systems, your survival responses, your emotional memory, and the parts of the brain that traditional talk therapy cannot fully reach alone. My name is Virgilin Sherry Reed. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, educator, life and leadership coach, and spiritual healer. I want to talk to you about what is brain spotting, why the eyes matter when it comes to working with the nervous systems, how brain spotting works, and how brain spotting therapy can help you today. As always, for my long-form posts with tips and resources, you can always locate it in one of my Substack publications. For more information about what part of the brain spotting accesses, and to get a visual about the freeze, fight, and flee responses visually, and what happens to us when we experience lowercase or capital case T trauma, please watch my video, Brain Spotting Therapy for Trauma, Anxiety, and Depression, on my YouTube page. The handle is at GroundingHearts. This video is an expanded version of that. Briefly go over 3 basic foundations of the brain. The frontal cortex, this is where we do math, time, space, this is where we problem solve. The amygdala part of our brain, this is what sets off the alarm system. This is our deepest, primitive, instinctual part of our brain that lets us know, hey, I want to live, I want to survive. It has no rationality and it has no language. This, along with the primal part of our brain, right, is the most important. It controls our basic survival instincts like our breathing, our heart rate, our body temperature, as well as our instinctual behaviors. This is where brain spotting impacts more than traditional talk therapy. When you experience chronic or prolonged stress or traumatic experiences in your life, this is where it gets stuck in what I call the frame, and we are looping. And at its core, brain spotting is based on one simple principle: where you look affects how you feel. And it's important to understand that the eyes are a direct gateway into the deeper parts of our nervous systems. And it's important to recognize that we have multiple nervous systems working interdependently together. The ocular system is where we deeply process threat, memory, emotional imprinting, intuitive information, and other signals. And when something happens, whether it's big or it's accumulation of injuries or wounds, it takes a snapshot of that moment. The gaze freezes, the nervous system then holds the snapshot. So brain spotting helps us locate those frozen points, okay, and releases the stuck survival energy behind them. In brain spotting, your therapist will support you in somatically, intuitively, and relationally to find what we call an eye position or a brain spot. This position connects deeply with an internal neuro-emotional focal point. And once that spot is found, you will begin to process material organically. This is not going to be forced upon you. This is not going to be rushed. And this is not dependent on analytical information. It is your body and brain doing what it was meant to do: to heal, to reorganize, to synthesize, integrate, and complete unrealized material that's coming up. See, brain spotting is not a technique someone performs on you. It is a relational, attunement, attachment based experience. Your therapist's role is to stay deeply attuned emotionally, energetically, intuitively, somatically to your pace and your process. Your therapist becomes a co regulating anchor with your system to help you feel safe enough to go through your own unique process. I want to share with you a little bit about how brain spotting can help and what it can support. And there are unlimited experiences and unlimited lists of experiences, but it's most commonly known for trauma and post traumatic experiences, chronic anxiety or looping thoughts, performance or creative blocks, relational wounds or attachment injuries, identity stress, racialized trauma, cultural fragmentation, self sabotage patterns, grief and heartbreak, overthinking, hypervigilance, and survival mode living. Brain spotting reaches the midbrain, the limbic system, and the deep instinctual structures that holds fear, that holds memory, that holds survival energy. It integrates images, sounds, sensations, and memory and allows the brain to essentially naturally rewire the story from within the system. When folks ask me, kind of describe brain spotting, which I know is experiential, I often want people to remember, in my experience, both personally and professionally, brain spotting is neuroscience. It is a brain and body modality. It is a neuro-experiential model. It is intuitive intelligence, which helps us reach our multidimensional intelligence. And finally, and my last point I generally share is that brain spotting has the capacity to go within our deep nervous systems, reshaping and working it all together. My hope is that more people, especially those who have held their trauma alone for far too long, can access this kind of healing, this modality in our current time. I hope this video was helpful. And if you're curious about brain spotting or you're working with a therapist who provides you with this resource, thank you. And share it with as many people as possible.